This is Family Radio in Jamaica. We do apologize for the delay and bringing you family time, but I think we're there now, so let's get started.
Well, good evening and welcome to everyone on Love 101 FM, Facebook, and YouTube Live. This is Family Time. Family Time is about your issues and your relationships. It's about your at home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries, and our aim is to enable healthy families, which will lead to healthy nations. So stay with us and please connect with us via all our platforms. Friend us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA, and on Instagram. Keep up with what's happening at Simply FLMJA. While Family Time is a family program, we'd like to caution that it may, on the odd occasion, touch on what some may consider mature subject matter. Your discretion is therefore advised. I'm John Pinkney, and I am your host for this evening. In the wake of Hurricane Melissa, the Jamaican spirit once again shines bright. From laughter through tears to neighbors helping neighbors, we see a people who know how to turn on and make fashion. And keeping no problem man, God's still there. There are a lot of pieces to pick up, and not just debris, but pieces of dignity and strength as well. But today, we'll focus on understanding and exploring the positive and resilient attitude of many Jamaicans, especially those right in the midst of trouble. The aim is to bring and keep the positive energy going while with explanations, examples, and tips. So let's see how that same spirit helps us cope, heal, and rebuild. Join me and my guests while we do that with our topic. And the topic is the Jamaican spirit coping with Melissa. We also want to make sure you're a part of the discussion. So here's a question for you. What helped you the most to cope with the aftermath of Melissa? Was it prayer? Was it humor? Friends? Was it your family? Or how? How did you do it? Send your answers via WhatsApp text and WhatsApp voice notes to 876 997 3125. Try to keep your voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds, we ask you. And you can also call our studio lines at 876 968 8327 or 876 968 8328. You can watch us and comment live on Love 101 Facebook and Love 101 FM YouTube. Let's talk about the things that touch our homes, our health, and certainly our hearts. We'll be right back with our guests, Dr. Hyacinth Peart, counseling psychologist, Mrs. Dawn Mullins, wife, mother, and resident of Westmoreland, and hopefully Ms. Nikki Carrara, a missionary out there in Manchester. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Eternal Father, Father.
Right now, our brothers and sisters in Western Jamaica are hurting. Homes have been destroyed. Families are struggling to start again after Hurricane Melissa.
Love 101 FM, the family station, is calling on you to join hearts and hands in love in action.
You can make a difference today by donating cash or kind to help rebuild lives.
We're collecting non perishable food items,
Bottled water,
baby supplies,
hygiene products,
toiletries,
cleaning supplies.
bedding, tarpaulins, and small household items.
Drop off your donations of cash and kind at Love 101 FM or participating partner churches island wide.
Every can, every package, every dollar helps bring hope to the hurting.
Together,
Together,
we
we
are
are love
love
in
in
action.
action.
Love 101 FM.
The family station.
Right a day.
Back to family time. Welcome back. Welcome back to Family Time. I'm Joan Pinkney and I'm your host for Family Time this evening. And we also want to welcome our guests, our very special guests who have agreed to join us this evening. As we mentioned before we took a break, we have Dr. Hyacinth Peart, counseling psychologist. But instead of Mrs. Mullins, we have Mr. Roland um, Gale. Unfortunately, Mrs. Mullins isn't able to connect with us, but we also have Miss Nikki Carrara, who is a missionary in Manchester. And we want to hear from them what's going on, how things have been, and certainly to plunge right into the discussions that we have this evening. Welcome, all of you, all of Uno. How Uno do?
Thank you so much. Fine, fine, fine. Kind of
Great,
dark here in
great.
Manchester, but we're trudging on.
Okay. Oh, you're actually currently in Manchester.
I am currently in Manchester and I'm having
Okay.
network problems, Melissa aftermath. So
Mm,
anything could happen.
yes. Yeah. Just to show solidarity, we're having it in Kingston as well. Just
Oh
saying.
boy,
The
I don't want
the
to be
network.
alone.
Yes.
Network issues. So it's not just
Yes.
us out here in
I'm
Manchester
checking.
and the West.
No, it's not just us, but perhaps you are at a greater disadvantage based on what has happened with you. Yeah.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
checking
yes.
whether Dr. Peart is with us. I'm not seeing her. I'm not hearing her. But we hope that she will join us. And of course, Mr. Gale will join us at some point in time, perhaps later on in the program. But we're happy to have you. And we
Thank you
want
so
to
much.
remind our listeners, you're welcome, of the question: what helped you to cope with the aftermath of Melissa? Was it prayer? Was it humor? Was it your friends or family? How did you do it? WhatsApp your text and voice notes to 876-997-3125. Try to keep your voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds. And you can also call our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can also watch us and comment live on Love 101 FM Facebook and Love 101 FM YouTube. So let's get going. This Jamaican spirit coping with Melissa, Hurricane Melissa. That's our topic for today. So let me jump in with you, Miss
Just call me Nikki.
Carrara.
That's easy. Yeah,
Oh,
just say Nikki.
thank you
It's
so
easier.
much. Yeah, I have to think every time to say it.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Don't
you've
don't
heard
worry.
that before.
Don't think.
Very
Don't think.
similar
just
to
just go
mine.
for
Similar
Nikki.
to
Yes,
mine, right?
yes. I had a police
Yes.
officer do that to me on Saturday. Like what?
But it is what it is, eh? We work with what we have to work with. So I just wanted to say before we plunge into the discussion that you having had firsthand, as it were, experience that there may be times, in your discussion that you may feel a little overwhelmed, and so I want to give you permission to say, hey, can't go anymore, can't, because I don't want to re-traumatize. I don't know the extent to which you were involved and how things were for you. But
Yes,
I just thought that
yes.
I would say that, and as a counseling
Thank you.
psychologist myself, I think I would be it would be remiss of me not to do that. So
Mm.
whenever you feel it's overwhelmed, it's getting a little bit much, just say, hey, can we take a break? And we will just pause for you. So in a nutshell, tell me what was it like living through Melissa?
Well, it was very interesting because where I am, it was 3 days of rain, and it was just crazy for with rain and storm just going 3 days and non-stop. So I was like, when is this going to stop? I thought, as it moved more west, that it would get
Mm,
less, but it just grew bigger. It grew bigger. And
right.
then, you are watching it come to YouTube because I'm watching
Mm,
Wonder Ground and National Hurricane Center. And there's so many times it was coming over Manchester. And
right.
it was taking its toll on me sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to tell my family, my mother and my aunt and my uncle that it's coming at us. And I
Right.
start
Right.
praying. So prayer was
Mm.
something that I held on to. Holding on to God through prayer was so important during that time.
All right. We're gonna take a break. I'm not sure. We're having some, so we're gonna take a break and we will be right back.
Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. The time that Grace could move is
5:47.
we know you're making every dollar work harder, choosing carefully, buying what you need, and making it stretch as far as you can. That's why Grace is giving shoppers discounts on over 20 of your favorite Grace products when you cash out at participating supermarkets. It's our way of helping you sweeten moments together, share more meals, and take care of the people you love. Make a good move with quality savings from Grace.
Are here with our special guests, and we're talking about the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. And our specific topic is the Jamaica response. We have 3 guests line up. Of course, we're having some issues with our internet as is expected, but we're going to be pressing along nonetheless. And we wanted to continue with Nikki. She was
Nikki,
sharing with us
easy.
her experience. She said
Yes.
you're saying that didn't want you didn't want to tell your family that you're having issues.
Well, Melissa was heading for us, and she wasn't looking that pretty. And
Right,
so, no, I didn't want to say, oh, it's
right,
coming right now, especially when I saw what was happening on Tuesday morning. And, she's barreling ahead, kind of slowly, but, I don't know if I'd say barreling, but coming slowly and getting bigger. Um, that was no fun. And
right.
we were praying for it to keep on going past Jamaica, my friends and I. And it was a little bit concerning to me. And I'm like, my father was calling from Kingston and saying, I'm worried about you. I'm worried about you. Do you have tarpaulins? What happened if the roof goes and stuff? So I asked my aunt, so what do we do
Mm,
if the roof goes? And she says, we'll see what happens when it happens. And I'm like, oh boy,
mm,
we
mm.
need a
Yes,
plan.
yes,
But
yes. But
you
but can,
just have
can
to
you
have a
think?
sense of humor. Uh-huh. Yes.
That's where I was going. I was gonna ask
Yes.
you if humor helped. And
Humor
clearly, that's
helps.
where you're going in
Humor, yes,
yes.
humor helps because Tuesday night, when I thought Melissa was gone, she was sticking around, and I wasn't too happy because at that time there is no electricity. I'm in the dark. Well, we all are in the dark. And then the winds are
Right.
howling, and whistling, and I have no clue what is going on because I have my hand at the window, peering out the window, trying to see what's happening because they were saying also about
Wow.
tornadoes and all of these things. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. And I'm getting ready
Yes.
because I'm hearing the flapping of the roof. And I'm just like, no, this is going to give. So I'm like, I have to wake everyone up because they're sleeping. But Melissa and her winds woke me up, and I ran over to
Yes.
my mother, and I said, the roof, I think the roof is going to go. We need to get ready. So she gets up because she wasn't sleeping in her room because the winds were so bad by her window. And so she
Mm.
walked across, went to her bedroom, and then came out with tape and scissors. So I'm like, hold on. What is the tape going to do? But
Yes.
she just woke up and just didn't even know what was happening and thought I
Right.
wanted
Mm.
tape and scissors, and I'm like, that
Okay.
is
Got
just
you.
not going
Got
to
you.
help the
Got
roof.
you. I like your spirit, and even though in summary, it was a negative experience. The essence or the general view that it was negative, but what I'm hearing is that there is the same spirit that we're talking about that you're exemplifying right now. And I gather that Dr. Peart is on, and I want to bring her into the discussion at this time. Good evening, Dr. Peart. Dr. Peart, are you there? So, whilst we await her appearance, let's continue to talk through some of the things because we know what we're
Yes,
focusing on this evening is the Jamaican spirit and seeking to cope with Melissa. And
yes,
you mentioned that humor was a good thing for you,
humor,
and that you
yes,
use that to help you cope along the way.
yes,
But
yes,
if there's one thing that Jamaicans are known for, it's that simple, special kind of resilience, the turn your hand and make
yes,
fashion and of attitude. Things get rough.
yes,
We don't just sit there and ball. Yeah, we ball too, but then we get up back after that
yes,
and we
we're going to
find a
get it
way.
back.
We fix it, we share, we rebuild, and sometimes with nothing but faith and little creativity. So we want to
Yes,
move into the to talk about the strength, how we rebuild. Yes, we know the devastation, we know all of those things, and we've spent a lot of time on those negatives. But what has rebuilding been like for you since the start?
well, for me, I've been out helping others who just really had it rough. And I went to the coast not long ago, and there's this lady who lost her house to the sea. The sea came and swallowed up her
Mm,
house. And I was telling her, I brought some stuff. And she said to me, don't give it to me. Give it to the people of Black River because they need it more. And I'm like, wow, because
mm,
she has
wow.
lost everything. And I think the rebuilding effort is so important with selflessness and just this attitude of gratitude, because yes, she lost basically everything. She lost her furniture, she lost her house to the sea, but she had saved some clothes. And you know what she did? She sent it to Black River. People who lost a lot sent stuff to people who
Mm,
lost more, and they were thinking of others, and that is the spirit that's going to
wow.
help us rebuild. And it's just so amazing. And then when I said,
Absolutely.
no,
Absolutely.
I have stuff for you, you can go to the police station and get it. And she needed towels, and there are towels there, and there are other things just
Mm,
right in the middle of the police station. She just held out her arms and just hugged me, and she said thank you. And I
oh,
was so touched by that because
wow.
I've just
Wow.
seen how
Wonderful.
her joy still. She had her joy, and she had her
Isn't that
thankfulness, and
something?
she had her selflessness.
Yes.
Yes, and it was so amazing.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. I want to bring
You're
in
welcome.
Sir Gail and Yan. We want to ask them for their experiences. They weren't there when the storm was happening, but they have interacted with persons who have been in the storm. Sir Gail, good to have you on, and Jan, good to have you on as well. Tell us, Roland, about your experience with the communities that you have visited.
Hey, good evening, Dr. Joan. Good evening, Nikki.
Good
Um,
evening, Roland.
Good evening to your listeners as well. It
Hmm.
is a harrowing experience on my part to have to go through and witness what it is that the rest of our family in the West are going through.
Hmm.
And to be honest with you, I am here to say that looking at it in pictures or on TV is not the same as seeing it in real life.
Ah,
And I suspect we have heard that before, but
right, right.
actually witnessing it in real life is a totally different thing. And
But tell us
one of the
about some of
things,
those stories that you've had that showed resilience, that showed strength in our people.
one of the things that showed me the strength and the love that resides in the heart of our people is seeing individuals who have nothing
Mm,
receiving something that is minimal, something that you wonder how long it would last them, and then they turn around and they share it with somebody else
wow, wow.
who is a neighbor, somebody else who maybe that I'm going to say probably these people them don't even talk to more than so, but they are just sharing, they are
Yes.
passing on whatever blessing they get. And to
Mm,
me that just demonstrates how we ought to live and how we
right,
can live. And
Yes.
right.
it's so amazing to me.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Let me ask Jan to jump in. Do you have any positive stories, any stories that um exemplifies the resilience of our people?
Hi, good night, everyone.
Right.
Well, one of the things, it's interesting because Roland and I went at different times. So when I went and I
Okay.
came back and I told him that, going there and seeing it on TV or, in the media is totally different. But one of the
Mm-hmm.
things that struck me is we first stopped in Black River and we saw a family who there was no part of their house that had roof on it. So everything inside was wet. And we went down with the daughter, so the parents, we went for her to look for her parents.
Mm-hmm.
And her father came from the back and he had this big smile on his face and goes, I'm alive.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's just,
Wow.
so that has stuck with me
Yes.
in terms
Yes.
of he had such a big smile because his daughter was so worried about him. And so
Yes.
he
Absolutely.
tried to reassure her.
Mm.
So I think that for me stood out, that smile that he
Yes.
gave
And I
her.
can appreciate why. And I can appreciate why. So this is family time, and I really do appreciate the share from you both. And we are live on Love 101 FM and Love 101 YouTube and Facebook. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries. For our social media interaction, we want you listeners to help us in this discussion. What helped you the most to cope with the aftermath of Melissa? Was it prayer, humor, friends, family, and how? We want you to connect with our various social media pages, and we're gonna go to a break right now. We don't want you to go anywhere. We want you to stay until we come back. Soon come.
I'm Itana, and human trafficking is everybody's business. Call 1-888-PROTECT to report suspected cases of child trafficking.
The time by the Ministry of National Security is
6 o'clock.
Welcome back to Family Time. You're tuned to Love 101. This is Family Time brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Before we continue our discussion on our topic, the Jamaican spirit coping with Melissa, let's get a word from Reverend Mike in this episode of WTF Word to Flesh Moments with Reverend Mike. Over to you, Reverend Mike.
Jamaican people often have a saying when faced with serious problems. It could have was. During the Michael Manley era, Tonya Han McFashion became a popular phrase as our country faced shortages. No problem, man, became so popular that it became an international identification of our island. These are not just trite phrases of an island people. These are phrases that indicate that we were or are a people who really believed the Word of God. It says this: I have learned in whatever state I am to be content. Philippians 4:11. In everything give thanks. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. Be anxious for nothing. Philippians 4:6. Practicing these phrases has resulted in us being known as a resilient, indomitable people who can overcome any obstacle and rise. That reminds me of another Bible gem. It says this: but those who wait for the Lord, who expect and hope in Him, will gain new strength and renew their power. They will lift up their wings and rise up close to God like eagles. They will run and not become weary. They will walk and not grow tired. Isaiah 40:31. Be it unto us according to your word, O Lord. I'm Reverend Mike from Fellowship Tabernacle, and we just had a WTF moment.
Thank you, Reverend Mike. Solid words there. We can't deny that those words were solid. You're tuned to Love 101 FM, and this is Family Time. And we are so very happy that we have persons who are here right in studio sharing in the discussion with us. And we're talking about the Jamaican spirit. We're talking about having gone through Melissa, having had those negative experiences. How are we coping? The Jamaican spirit coping with Melissa. So we want to delve some more, and we want to ask further questions. We're not sure whether Dr. Peart is on. We had expected her to be on, but we know that she's having some challenges. We also have Nikki, and we have Roland, and we also have Jan. We're so happy that they're able to join us. They are participating so ably, so well in the discussion, having had Nikki having been there when it all happened, and Roland and his wife Jan having visited the areas that have had issues. So let me ask another question. What is it about the Jamaican people that we are able to do well after a crisis? Where we get it from? Anybody?
I'm going to say it's,
Yes.
I think it's our root in God, our root in Christianity. I really am going to say that because I've seen interviews where people are like, we're alive and it's God. And it always comes back to God. I've seen international interviews where they're interviewing Jamaicans and they're talking about God. I've seen in the hotels where they're having worship during the hurricane you know. And so it, for me, it's amazing. It's just drawing on what God has given us.
Yes, great. I also would go ahead, Roland.
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't me.
Oh,
I
it
think
was
it
you.
was someone else.
Okay, I was gonna
Continue.
say, I was gonna add, say that our roots, not just in Christianity, of course, definitely that, but also our roots in our history, in where we've come from, and the fact that our ancestors were able to make it through to the point where we got independence. That took a lot of stamina. Well, we were the first to get independence in English speaking Caribbean. And so that's a lot to look and model and
Yes.
embrace, yeah, even as we face this crisis. I think a lot has been invested directly and indirectly in us, in our genes, yeah, in our DNA, and of course, our
Yes.
faith in God is really at the root of it as well.
I agree with you, Dr. Joan, and I also agree with Nikki. I know that Trisha may want to share, and sorry, Jan may want to share, and it is something that I have thought about quite a bit over the last few days. How our people appear to have a kind of optimism or a kind of
Yes.
hopefulness about them. That, as Nikki said, I think it comes from our Christian background. It comes from the
Yes.
fact that we are a praying people. But there
Yes.
was something that I saw yesterday, and it really struck me. Yan, when she went, and I'm going to ask her to open her mic and describe for us, Yan, how you saw the landscape as you passed through. Just describe the landscape that you saw when you went a couple of weeks ago or a few days after the hurricane.
Well, to describe it, I likened it to the wars that we see on TV in terms of with the bombing, you see a lot of ash. But when we were driving, what you see is just tree. All you see is brown and it's dry.
Wow.
And so I liken it to that because it's similar. It's just that it is just trees, like dry trees, because there were no leaves on the trees. There was no green. But to add to, I think what I see is just that people are in survival mode, and
Yes,
I think
great.
we just innately we just have to we just have to get up and we have to move. We have to do what we need to do, and it is a kind of mourning. When you look at it, we mourn our loved ones when they die, but people here, it's similar because they're mourning what they have lost in
Yes.
a sense. And when you mourn, if you have faith, what you believe in makes you do it differently.
Ah,
And
absolutely.
so, and,
Absolutely.
and so you might find there's a set of people who, yes, are down and, you know, everything is just bad. But then there is another group of people that can stand on rubble or what we would consider rubble. But to
Yes.
them, it's what they have built over years and say
Yes.
that God is still good
Yes,
when,
absolutely.
so
Absolutely, absolutely, Yan. And the
I
reason
wanna
why, sorry,
before
Dr. John.
you go, I have two voice notes that I want to hear from, but I want to also call to see whether Dr. Peart is on. I hope she is, and if she is there, so we can
Dr.
merge her.
John, I wanted to finish the point though, in regard
Okay.
to the trees and the ash and the death that Jan was describing. I wanted
Right.
to add a little to that. Just
Go
a,
ahead.
just a few days later, she went a few days before me, and I am now reporting on what I saw yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
There's lush green grass in the
You are joking.
in the midst of all of these
Yeah.
dead trees, these trees that have no leaves, these
Yes.
trees that the only thing you're waiting on them to do is drop over. There is
Mm.
lush, verdant, green grass growing
Wow.
up.
Wow. Wow.
And to me, that is
That
indicative
is
of who we
significant.
are.
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
willing to start over. We're willing to come from the ground and go up again.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted Jan to describe it,
Okay.
because
Absolutely.
it is just, to me, it is just so hopeful when
Hmm.
you see where we are just a few days later.
Right. Great. I appreciate that contrast, and I can appreciate why you wanted to add that. So let's hear from Sister Rere, and then we hear from Sister Edna Obey, who are waiting with their voice messages.
Yeah, we prematurely cut off. And the thing about us, we love the Lord and we know His word and we try to apply it to our life. Like
Mm.
all things work together for good. That's what they making a one piece of all house, Understand me, blow you find yourself in a tree storage because all things work together for good for those who love the Lord. So you can see the light of the tunnel even though there's darkness. And that is
Yes.
what Jamaicans are like this because
Thank
we
you.
see light at the end of the tunnel and don't care how dark the tunnel is.
Thank you, Sister
Yes.
Rere. I appreciate that. Miss Edna?
Good afternoon, Auntie Joan and your guest.
Mm. Yes.
What really helped me to cope, is my faith that I have in my God.
Mm.
Faith and, prayer from my church family, my family and my friends, and take myself on social media. Spend less
Mm.
time on social media that will drive you go crazy. YouTube. I don't do spend when I watch YouTube, I have to lock off of YouTube because when I went there, play a video of the devastation and stuff. And then
Mm.
weekend I went down to visit my family in back over St. Elizabeth and I start crying from middle quarter straight to Virginia district St. Elizabeth. The devastation had me crying. I was so disturbed, you know.
Mm.
But God.
But
And
God. Thank you
because
so much.
of them, his family. Lord.
Thank you so much for sharing, ladies. Appreciate that. Let me ask the panel, what kind of healing is now necessary? Because yes, we talk about the resilience, but we also been through grief. We're experiencing trauma, post-traumatic um, symptoms, and all of the above and more. Um, what kind of healing is necessary, and what do we want to heal from?
For me,
Anybody?
I think a lot of people have had a lot of trauma. And
Mm,
so we need to listen. That's one of the big things. We need to listen. We can't say, sure,
mm,
no big deal, not go on. We really have to listen to people. We really have to understand also that people process in different ways, you
right.
know, because trauma comes up in so many different ways. And I'm thinking about the children. I'm praying about
Mm,
how to help the children because there is trauma that goes on for a long time. My friend was telling me about before Melissa came about the trauma from Gilbert of losing her roof,
wow.
and Melissa was making it come back. So it doesn't go
Yes,
away
yes, yes.
decades later, it
Absolutely.
doesn't go away. So we must be ready to listen for years to come.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And we're heading to our final break. I'm telling you, time flies when we're having fun. This is Family Time, live on Love 101 FM, YouTube, and Facebook. It's produced by Family Life Ministries. And for our feedback question, we want you to tell us, listeners, what helped you to cope the most to cope with the aftermath of Melissa? Was it prayer? Was it humor, friends, family? What was it? Send your stories to WhatsApp text or voice messages to 876 997 3125. Try to keep your voice notes to no longer than 30 seconds or call our studio lines. Those numbers are 876 968 8327 and 876 968 8328. You can also watch us and comment live on Love 101 FM Facebook and Love 101 FM YouTube. We want to hear from you. So please don't go away. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
You can see the face, but not the heart. Those who want to do you wrong. So many times.
Bless up. This is Christopher Martin. Human trafficking is a crime. Let's unite to end human trafficking. Be wise, open your eyes, spot them, stop them, and report them.
A message from the Ministry of National Security.
No shadow at the dark. No shadow at the dark.
Welcome back. Welcome back to Family Time. It's now 6:16 and you're tuned to Love 101. This is Family Time brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Remember, you can tune in to the program via the Love 101 Facebook page and YouTube channel. We have talked about the storm, we have talked about the struggles, but now let's look ahead. It's the final segment of Family Time, and we're talking what we've learned from Melissa. What does this moment say to us as a people, and how do we carry this Jamaican spirit forward? Because yes, we have lost things, a whole heap of things, but we've also found something, a reminder that hope lives here, that God's still there and better must come. And so the topic, the Jamaican spirit, coping with Melissa, or our special guest, we have been trying to connect with Dr. Peart. And our sister Dawn is here. Was to have joined us earlier, so we want to welcome her. Welcome, Dawn. You want to share, jump in, Sister Mullings, and just share with us anything that you can um, tell us in relation to the the good part, the good part of Melissa, if there's such a good part. How are you coping? How have you seen persons coping? Tell us, please.
Hi, thanks for having me on. Are you
Yes,
hearing me?
loud and clear.
Great. Coping, coping. The morning after the storm, I looked out and I thought to myself, I couldn't think of anything. I was blank and I thought that I have nowhere to go. I have go in the sense that what do I do next? I did not know. And the scripture came to me, trust in the Lord with all your heart and
Mm,
lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct thy path. And I realized that unless God told us what to do next, we wouldn't know what to do because
absolutely.
it is so mammoth, it is so, and I use the words devastating and unfathomable
Mm,
unless he tells us what to do. And I think he really wants to instruct us. And unless we open up ourselves and be sensitive to his word,
right.
we're gonna lose in the moment because I really believe, and I know for myself, unless he tells us where to go as a family, we won't because it's
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. For
Yes. Yes.
me, I see, I keep seeing the rain falling in the house, even we're downstairs and it's running down, and I call it. I tell everybody we're on the skyline and waterfalls
Mm. Wow. You're a
because
true. You're a true Jamaican woman.
yes, it's skyline and waterfalls, and
Mm,
a couple days after I visited my neighbors, they were washing by the river, and
mm.
everybody was having fun. And I looked at a neighbor who she was washing 3 wigs, and I thought
Wow.
it was amusing. It was life happening in the moment. And the wigs were being washed, they were shampooed, they were conditioned, they were combed out and set on a post to dry.
Mm.
And I thought,
Yes.
we need to live in the moment. And this is
Yes.
what we have
Yes.
now.
Yes. Yes.
It
Yes.
don't make any sense. You worry every day
Mm.
because tomorrow is going to come. And if we trust the word of God that says he has us, we shouldn't worry about anything. And we repeat these verses regularly,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes we are tested, and that is when you will know if you really trust or you really
Absolutely.
believe.
The rubber meeting the
The
roads.
rubber
Thank you
meeting the
so
road.
much. Thank you so much for that. We have two voice notes and we want to hear them. We want to for our audience to participate. So let's hear from them.
Good evening, Auntie Joy.
Yes.
Joy. Remember, people also love ones, you know, because you see a lot of people died, you know, a lot of people died, you know.
Mhm.
Mess up yourself, to roll and it's true, and that's how it is.
All right, thank you. Can we have the other voice note?
Auntie Joan, good evening,
Yes.
and the
Good
rest of
evening.
the panel. I'm here listening. I hardly want to say anything, but you know what I'm gonna say? You know what? To me, what don't really cost life doesn't really mean anything. We have life. It's gonna take years to come back, but we can get over it. I
Yes.
have lost everything, also my sister's mother's house. There is nothing, but we have life. It takes another 30 years. We can sleep on the
Yes.
floor with one sheet, but God be the glory. I'm grateful.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, that really does underscore the things that we're trying to speak to this evening, the resilience, the not allowing things to keep us down. Yes, we will feel down, and as a counseling psychologist, I would never tell you not to express those negative emotions. They are important. But having expressed them, how can we then reframe? How can we then decide that, hey, even though I'm down, I'm not out, and I'm going to seek to get up little by little and make it. And that's what I'm hearing coming from the stories being shared. Um, but what lesson though can we learn? What can we take away from this experience? And how do we move forward? It's a double barrel question. What can we take away and how can we move forward? Roland, you want to take a stab at that?
What can we take away and what can we do
And what
going forward?
lessons can we
What?
say we've learned? Or if there's anyone who has it ready on the lips.
Yeah. Lessons that I have learned. One of the things I have learned is that we are simply to trust the Lord. One of your voice notes said that people have died, and
Hmm.
that is heartbreaking, and it is a
It
fact
is.
of what has taken place. But
Absolutely.
going forward, we just have to trust the Lord.
Absolutely.
We may lose all the material things, but in my experience so far, those things can be replaced, and it is the other things that we need to focus on. The way we treat each other, the way that we approach life, either with a negativity or with a positivity. And
Yes.
that main lesson for me is just to trust the Lord.
Amen. Thank you for that. Ladies, any one of you. Nikki, go ahead.
Yes, I believe that you never know what's going to happen next. But that's one of the things I've learned in that you never know, but
Mm-hmm.
God knows. But
Yes.
God knows. So as Roland said, we have to trust Him. You know, we can't see what the future holds. I don't know what's going to happen the next moment because
Right.
I realize anything can change, but
Mm-hmm.
God never changes. So we need to hold on to Him.
Yes. Yes. Dawn?
I live in Westmoreland, and the area I live is we have many of the houses are wooden houses, and what I'm hearing people saying now, solid concrete roofing. So that's one of the things people, one of the practical things that people have decided. You know, no more pride in the wood. We need concrete structures, roofing.
Mm.
Um,
Yes.
life life is a Roland spoke about trusting God, and I think we really need to take it on, almost like a branch being engrafted, where we trust Him, because this journey is an adventure. And like Nikki said, we do not know what tomorrow brings. We just do not know. But we have to trust that God knows and He is there.
Right.
And I wouldn't want people to think that, oh, we're Christians and we're living with our head in the sky. No, we really
Yes.
have to learn to trust God and know that He is there. He's in the mix. He is sovereign and He is
Yes.
allowing, He is permitting, and the best result will come because he has structured it that way, and he wants us to win. He wants us to
Yes,
win.
absolutely.
Despite the
Thank you for that.
situation,
Thank you for
he
that.
wants us to win.
And that's very important that we maintain the positive, and as you said, not behave as if there are no negatives, but we have to pull ourselves from dwelling on those things which pull us down and seek to think positively about going forward. One of the
I
things
wanted
that
to,
yes,
this is Kathy.
yes, go ahead.
I just wanted to include in the question, in answering your question about what are the things that we can learn coming
Yes.
from this, is how to give thanks and
Ah,
what to give thanks for.
wonderful.
And although we give thanks for life and we give thanks for um, seeing another day, things like
Hmm.
that,
Yes.
I want to encourage us to give thanks for the things that we take for granted. I
Yes.
heard in an
Yes,
interview
yes.
recently, somebody, they went down with some supplies, and one of the things they went with was deodorant. And
Mm.
I know that every one of us here don't give two thoughts to
Hmm.
deodorant.
Right.
And it's simple, but
Hmm.
just give thanks. Those of us who have what we have, we give
Yes.
thanks to them. Those who don't
Absolutely.
have what they normally have, give thanks for what you do have. And
Yes.
we're very
Absolutely.
innovative. Those who don't have deodorant from the supermarket, use baking soda. If you
Yes.
don't have
Oh,
baking
yes.
soda,
Yes,
you
man.
give
The
thanks
baking
for
soda with
baking
some
soda.
powder.
If you don't have baking soda, give thanks for something. Give thanks that you're not smelling.
Yes. Yes.
You know that
Absolutely.
your level of need for deodorant is not as high as other persons. I'm just saying,
Yes.
just give
Yes.
thanks
No,
and practice it.
it is important. The things that we normally take for granted.
Yes.
Another thing that I think that we should take away is the fact that we need each other. We need each other and we cannot do without each other. And
Yes.
don't take for granted that because I'm in a particular status that I don't need this person, because right now the ground is very level, yeah, in various parts, and all of us are in it together, and so we need each other to respect each other for who we are. um and so I really appreciate you coming on and really sharing as you have shared. Thanks for being here with us. If you have questions of a personal nature or are concerned about a friend or family member, call us. For more information on our services or for our counselors in Kingston and other parts of the island, contact Family Life Ministries head office at 1 Cecilia Avenue, and our numbers are 876-920-1034 or 876-926-8101. We also have WhatsApp numbers, and they are 876-579-8690 and 876 279 8678. The last two numbers, of course, as I said, they are WhatsApp. Note that all appointments and information on costs must be fielded through the offices of Family Life Ministries. Otherwise, keep up to date with what's happening with FLM on our programs. Check us out on our new Facebook page at FLM Family Life Ministries. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries FLMJA, and on Instagram at simply FLMJA. Before we leave, here is a verse for the evening. Isaiah 41 and verse 10 says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Listeners, Hurricane Melissa has tested us, but it didn't break us because the Jamaican spirit is powered by laughter, creativity, community, and faith. Let's keep leaning on each other, keep praying, and keep believing that better must come. Want to thank our guests. We want to apologize for Dr. Hyacinth Peart, who was having connectivity issues and didn't get to come on. But we thank her for agreeing to come on nonetheless. Mrs. Dawn Mullings and Miss Nikki Carrara, and also Mr. Ron Gear and his wife Yan. Thank you so much. We also thank our producer, Kathy Gale. Thanks to Deborah Graham for piloting us through this hour in studio. And of course, you, our listeners, have a great week and love you lots. I'm Joan Pinkney. Walk good.